Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Now, I want us to discuss about an important topic for business people and even for you as an individual, and that is adapting. To be specific, adapting boldly, riding on the discomfort of the unknown. Now, we all of us are looking forward to next year. We are all looking forward to next month. We are all looking forward to the following day, and even 5 years, 10 years to come as business people and as individuals. But what do we have to do for us to be relevant even in the coming years? For you to be relevant in the next 10 years, there's something that you have to do. For you to be relevant in the next 20 years, there's something that you have to do. And that is what we are talking about today. Madeleine Albright said that most of the time I spend when I get up every morning is trying to figure out what is going to happen. That is what we are going to learn today. Figuring out what is going to happen in the next few years. Because if you don't do that, someone else is thinking about the following year. And if you don't do that, they are going to pass you. They are going to overdo you. They are going to put you down. So this is something that you need to do. As Madeline said, every morning, think about what you're going to do tomorrow. Think about what you're going to do as a business. If you're not thinking about the next 10 years, then you're failing already. Remember, someone say that failing to plan is planning to fail. So you are already planning to fail. The reason why some of the companies have become obsolete is because they cannot even explain what happened, but they just didn't adapt. So this is something that we really need to check. Are we adapting as individuals? Now, if you look even at the dress code for today, it's not the same as the dress code for the 70s or the 90s or the 2000s. It has evolved. And that is the same thing. If you look at technology, everything has evolved. So the people who are earning right now are the people who thought about the years to come. These are the people who are now shining. So if you want to do the same, then you really have to adopt. Now I want to share with us some of the things that you need to do for you to adopt. Number one, you have to let go of the past. Some of the things that people do, or one thing that makes us not go think about the future is because we are not ready to let go of the past. Just because you failed yesterday doesn't mean that you're going to fail every day. Just because in fact, even good things can make you not progress. Because just because you passed today does not mean you're going to pass tomorrow. Remember, one day or some few years ago, Nokia was the best mobile phone. Today it's not there, but they just didn't adopt. Let me share with you some of the tips that you need to do to help you let go of the past. Number one, seek out for originality. Now, originality means you need to learn new habits, you need to learn new skills, you need to learn new things. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you can do what you're doing in a totally different way. I have gone to businesses that there are so many businesses around that area, but the reason why I go maybe to that chemist is because there's a way they do their things. The reason why I go to that contractor, there is a different way he does his things. The reason why I go to that supermarket, that hospital, is because there is a different way they do their things. And that is one thing that you need to find for your business. If you're a sales and marketing person, find that one thing that you do different from other people. We are not talking about reinventing the wheel. We are just talking about doing something in a different way. There is some originality in that. You can look at 10 people, but you can all tell the difference between the 10 people because they have some form of originality. That is what you also need to find or to look for in your business. Number two, weigh jobs as much by learning their potential as by their pay grade, stepping into new and familiar roles that broaden your experience and openness. You must be open to experience. The reason why some of us who are in career jump from one job to another, it's not because we just want to, it's because we want to broaden our experience. If you're in the accounting, you want to broaden your experience. If you're in sales, you want to broaden your experience, working with the NGOs, working with the government, working with the private sector. In that, you become more valuable because you understand all the market, you understand the industry in and out. That is one thing we need to do. Be open to experience. Anytime you're given a job, don't do just that job alone. Do something else. Do something extra, something that will help you. Tomorrow they might be looking for someone else, and you learned on the side. You learned that job on the side. So that is something else that you need to do. Be open to experience. Anytime they call you to do something, even if it is for free, Just do it because it is helping your future. All right. Number three, acquire the skills that you don't have. Adaptable leaders work to acquire skills they don't have. They get into the ring, practice them, no matter how awkward or uncomfortable they feel at first. Some of us, you don't do things because you say this is something that I don't know. It is Richard Branson who said that if you're given a job, take the job and then learn to do the job later. That is a leader, someone who is open to learning new skills. Don't just be there saying that I know accounting and this is the only thing that I know. No, the world is going very fast. And maybe there are some robots that will come that will do the accounting. So you need to learn something else, another skill that will help you tomorrow, something that will help you. You don't have to know one thing. In fact, this is something very controversial, but let me just say it. In this world, you cannot just be doing one thing. You cannot be having one skill. You cannot be learning one thing. It is very dangerous. Like the industry I'm in the events industry, COVID came in 2020. If that is the only thing I knew, then I would have suffered for one whole year. But I learned other things. And even if you look at the most influential leaders, the richest people globally, they don't do one thing. We might know them for one thing, but they do not do one thing. They have invested in other industries. Let us also invest in other skills. Learn to do something. Learn how to edit a video. Learn how to do accounting. Learn how to do sales and marketing. Learn how to do several skills. I hope I'm helping someone out there. Number four, you must be willing to let go of approaches that have worked before. As we said earlier, some people fail because they have succeeded before. Just because you have succeeded does not mean that you will succeed tomorrow. Just because you have succeeded does not mean that you're safe for the next 10 years. No, you must always be open to learning. In fact, as people are joining a certain career, they join as amateurs or they join at the lowest level of that career. But you must be able to learn how to grow. You cannot be there as a craftsman and you're there saying that you're the most skilled craftsman and you will not learn anything else. You need to grow to another position, go on to another position, go on to another position. We say in some previous videos, we say there are 4 levels of value, and we listed all those values. So all those levels, you need to increase from one level to another. Don't just be there saying that you're in the implementation level, doing your best, and you're there for the next 30 years. You need to grow. You need to move from one level to another. That is one way that will help you to let go of the past. You don't sit there saying that you know how to make this table and this is the only thing that you can do. Make this table, tomorrow make a bigger one, the other day make a better one, and so on and so forth. That is growth. But let me tell you, someone said that the enemy of better is good. The enemy of best is better. Because sometimes you might think you're good at something, but maybe there's something better for you. You might think you're better, but there's something best for you. So these are things that we need to be open to if we really want to be relevant in the next few years. Now, I want us to share something else very important. 3 things that I want us to share, especially if you're planning to build an antenna for the future. You want to plan and think about the future. Every time you want to think about the future. These are 3 things that you need to do. Number one, build diverse information networks. Build diverse information networks. This is something that I've always advocated for. Don't just learn things in your industry. I'm in the events industry, I'm in the education industry, but I also need to learn something from another industry. That is how, at the end of the day, you end up calling someone a genius or a business mogul. It's because they picked every lesson, a lesson from every industry. Since I'm not in the manufacturing, I will not ignore the lessons from the manufacturing industry. Since I'm not in the media industry, I will not ignore the lessons from the media industry. I have seen successful people, and those people, when you study them well, it's because they have connected all the industries that they have learned and put them in their own industry. If you're always thinking about your industry alone, then you will always do what people have done. Because according to research, you will not find something outside that. You will only do what you have always done. But if you go to you go to the hospital and you find out how things are done in the hospitals, how they treat their patients, how logistics are done, things are coming in, others are going out, and then you go and practice in your own industry, then you will have some form of originality in your industry. That is one thing that most leaders or most influential people have done. Take Learn about all industries. If you meet me watching some documentaries, I will watch documentaries about politics, because there's something I will learn in politics about leadership. There's something I will learn about communication. There's something that I will learn about politics, including sales and marketing, because those people, it's all about selling yourself. And then I come and practice in my own industry. You'll find me watching documentaries about science, because there's something about science that I can come and pick and bring to my own industry. So these are some of the things that you need to do. And you will not find anyone who is influential or who is wealthy that does not follow this secret. Number two, ask the ask good questions. Now, someone said, if you ask good questions, you will always get good answers. This is something else that will help you to think about the future, because it is part of research. Anytime you're planning to do something, remember, someone has always been there, but they will not tell you if they don't know if you have the need to know that information. If I go to a doctor, he will not give me all the information that he has, but if I ask the right questions, then he will give me the right answers. True or true? So that is something else that we also need to practice. Practice asking questions, because anytime you're thinking about the future, there's always so many questions that you have in your mind because you have not yet been there. But remember, there's someone who has been there. And for you to get that information is to ask the right questions. Number three, and the last thing, is to tackle premortems before postmortems. Now, the problem with most people is that they deal with something after they have seen, after it has happened. But that is not how we are supposed to do. We are supposed to attack something even before it happens. And this is a problem with most companies. That's why you find many companies are being sued. Many companies they have to apologize to their clients. Many companies have closed down because they are dealing with the postmortems. Something has happened, something bad has happened. All the employees are gone, money, you're making losses. But you need to deal with the pre-mortem before the post-mortem. Now, what does that mean? That means you should always think about the future. You should always be thinking, just because you're comfortable and everything is doing good, is is that should tell you that you need to think about the future. That should tell you that you need to be comfortable with discomfort. You need to think about what to do next. You don't be When you clap for me today, I will not just sit down. I will think about tomorrow, because you cannot clap for me twice for doing the same thing. So deal with the pre-mortems before the post-mortems. This is PD Group Limited, and see you in class. Cheers.